Hello! Hey, welcome to our little video about surface area. Surface area is just exactly what it sounds like. It's fun trying to find the area of a surface. It's useful if you're making cans to know how much material you're making, or if you're putting shingles on a roof, or making a tent, and you want to know the area of that thing, or putting I don't know, vinyl siding on the side of a house, or I don't know, maybe making a box for a project or something like that. If you needed to know how much material it was, we're going to teach you how to find out about surface area. So when we're talking about finding surface area, we are talking about three-dimensional objects, and the most popular three-dimensional objects, or I don't know if it's most popular, but one of the three-dimensional objects that we talk about, one of the space shapes, is a prism. Okay, and a prism basically is a three-dimensional shape, and the bases are congruent. That's awful handwriting. The bases are congruent, and so when we're talking about bases, we might talk about this as being a base, and then the other side that we can't exactly see is also a base. Okay, so the bases are congruent, or we could talk about the bases being the top and the bottom. Whatever, in this case, we've got a variety of bases to choose from, but we've got at least two sides that are parallel to each other and are also congruent, and that's what makes a prism a prism. And so, since the video is about surface area, we ought to talk about how to find the surface area. So this is my little prism here, and if that's not what I want to do. If I touch right over here, a little thing of the prism unfolded. So basically what I've done is I've taken this blue box and I've unfolded it, and I've got all these pieces. And if I wanted to find the surface area of the box, I would just merely need to find the surface area of all of these edges. And so when we're talking about it, we call these faces. So this is a face, that's a face, that's a face, and that's a face. And we call these other two pieces the bases. And so if we want to find out the area of some sort of a prism, what we do is we find out the area of the faces and add to it the area of the bases. Okay, so the area of the faces plus the area of the bases will give me the surface area of a prism. So surface area of prism is the area of the faces plus the area of the bases. And if you've seen the area perimeter circumference video, that shouldn't be a big deal. So there's no new shapes or anything like that. Suddenly I came back and I told you that this dimension was I don't know, 4, and this dimension was 6, and this dimension was 8. We'll just go with those numbers for lack of any other ones. We could quickly put those on here, and we'd find out that this was 4, and that was 6, and then we'd have a bunch of sides that are we'd have some that were 6 by 8 and 4 by 8, and so we just would figure out what's the area. This thing's 24. This thing here looks like it's 6 times 8 is 48. The top is going to be 4 by 8, which is 32, and then we'd figure out the matching sides, and we would just go through. So if we can find the area of the various pieces, add them all up, that's how we find the surface area of a prism. Okay, if we wanted to find the surface area of this triangular prism, which is the popular prism, if we unfold it, we've got 3 rectangles and 2 triangles. And so we'd use our formulas for rectangles and triangles, figure out the area of all the various pieces, and then add them all up. Okay? So area of the faces plus the area of the bases. Okay? And these are the bases. 2 sides parallel to each other. So that's how we work with those sort of things. A particular type of prism, prism that we worry about is a cylinder. Okay, a cylinder's just got rounded bases. The base is a circle, and the face, there's really only one face. So a cylinder's got a pretty specialized formula that we'll look at. And if I can make the tappy thing happen, you can see perhaps that is what's called a net. Okay, when we unfold a figure, we unfold the thing, it's called a net. So that's the net of my cylinder. You can see I've got the top and the bottom circles, and then this part, when I unswirl the edge here, it just becomes a rectangle. Okay. So as I'm looking at it, if I know a radius and I know height, I can pretty much get what I need to out of this. Okay, so my radius then is right there, and my height is over here. So I can figure out the area of the circly part, because the area of a circle is pi r squared. That's of this thing, right? And then I just need to figure out the area of this. So I know the one dimension, I just need to get the other. So if you look at it, when I unfolded this rectangular piece, it used to wrap entirely around the circle. So it used to have the dimension of the circumference of the circle. So this length right here is the circumference, and so it's 2 pi r. From there to there is 2 pi r. Picture it, wraps around the circle. And so this rectangle's area is 2 pi r h. So if I want to find the total surface area of my little cylinder, I take the top and the bottom, which are both pi r squared, and I add to it the rectangular piece in the middle, and I get my surface area is equal to 2 pi r squared, that's my top and the bottom, plus 2 pi r h. It's an excellent little formula to store away. Okay, so excellent. I think I've got space for it to put it on this very slide right here. Surface area of a cylinder, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. So if my radius was, I don't know, 4, and my height was, these nice numbers, 10, okay, we could easily find the surface area of this, because the surface area is 2 times pi times my radius squared plus 2 times pi times my radius times 10. Just substituting all those values in. So 4 squared is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. So I have 32 times pi. Over here I've got 4 times 10 is 40. Times 2 more is 80. Plus 80 pi. Add those together, I think I get 112 pi. And with calculator we can figure out what that actually turns out to be. And it would be something in, say, inches squared if this was a 10 inch and these were inches. Okay? So that's it. I don't know. We could find the surface area of a pyramid the same way. This is a 4-sided pyramid. We can unfold the edges, and we're going to get a triangle, a triangle, and triangle, and triangle. So we're going to have 4 triangles that may or may not be the same. And then we have the base. Okay, so pyramids only have one base, but otherwise the same thing. We're just going to do the area of the base. And then we're going to add the area of the faces. Okay, that's about all in a pyramid. Make up some numbers if you like. And so we can, we can now, with just the little bit of information we have, we can find the surface areas of all these things. We have a formula for finding the area of a pentagon, and then we could just use all that to figure out the area of these rectangular pieces. We could figure out this for a tetrahedron. It's got 3 triangles and a triangular base. We could figure out surface area of this. We'd need to use Pythagorean theorem to figure out what that side length is there. So that would help me to figure out, some of this top rectangle and the bottom rectangle. So we could figure out all of that. But we can do all kinds of shapes, and just have to remember that it's just, picture unfolding it and make sure that you've got every area all taken care of. That's the end of my story for today. So surface area just takes all the area formulas that you've known for many years and puts them into a nice 3-dimensional object, and away we go. Thanks for watching. Any questions you should ask. We'll talk to you soon. Have a lovely rest of the day.